People will ask me, Rob, there's not a lot of physical goods like T-shirts and copies of the DVD and physical copies of the game. That's because that stuff takes a ton of time to produce and a ton of time to ship out to people, and I have no interest in doing a lot of that. That's why they're all really high up for people who put in a ton of money, because I don't want to invest tons and tons of time. I did it once. We technically did a Kickstarter or a big fundraising for season 1 of Unforgotten Realms, and it was kind of a big failure on my part. Like, I've never shipped anything, gotten DVDs printed from a manufacturer before, so terrible experience. And while I know all about that stuff now, I know that I do not want to have a bunch of people dropping, $60, $70, $80 for this physical, because they're like, oh, I want to get a T-shirt too, and then have to ship out to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people. That would just soak up so much time when you guys want me working on the game. Okay, so that's why a lot of these tiers are all about you guys getting stuff in the game. So if you go to the silver tier, the first one is Become a Rock. Create a piece of small loot that hangs out in the player's inventory based off your name and ideas. So this is, I'll just leave this up. This is junk loot. This is broken quest items. This is the unstoppable hammer. It's whatever you want to get as a piece of loot, and I'll put it based on something, and that's what it is. Maybe it's based on your name. Some of these will be, or most of them, or a lot of them might be really common. Some of them will be kind of like rare. If you're like, Rob, I would like a piece of the rainbow named George Costanza. I'll be like, okay, that's a pretty rare piece of George Costanza's rainbow. That's good. I don't think there's going to be a lot of places that drops. So actually, if you pick something really common, like Sam's broken bottle, that'll be way more common than a piece of rainbow. But hey, you can have whatever junk loot you want. You just have to just think about where it would be placed in the game if you want it to be really common. But hey, if you want to be the alluring broken piece of rainbow that sells for 35 gold, you do it up. The other thing to note about them was, there's something I don't remember. It'll probably come up on another item. The next tier is the Become a Sword, which is any weapon, armor piece, trinket based off your name and ideas. So the first one was just like you pick like something up, and this one is an actual piece of equipment. You guys, I will allow you to pick the rarity. Of course, you can't pick legendary because that's its own reward tier. But if you want specific, like if you want to be an epic, just an epic, or if you want to be really common and just like I would like to be a sword. And it's a white sword, and you see it all the damn time, Rob. You guys can do that. You can be any piece of the equipment and all that stuff. Well, I'll explain it after I get to the silver tier, how the process of getting information and telling me your ideas works. And yeah, so one of the points I wanted to say about the Become a Rock is every item in the game can be kind of picked up. So they can be put in your inventory, but they can also be put on the ground. So if you are a piece of rainbow, you can also be like put on the ground and kicked around like a ball, like a small little physics object. It's not just like something that is in your inventory. You can like throw it around in the world. So if you were like David's basketball, you'd be a basketball. I'd probably make you bounce and things like that. So I'm going to be really, really flexible in hearing your guys' ideas. As long as I can make it work, I'll take the time to look into whatever cool ideas you can have, especially the higher up you go. The higher up you go, the more I will be more inclined to make sure whatever silly or awesome idea you have, I try to get implemented as best as I can. So weapons, shields, trinkets, all that. The next one is consumable. Those are the hot bar things, the things you put on your bar. Chugging a potion to increase your damage, consumable. I also let you do some fun things with it. So if you want to be a potion that turns you into a penguin, go for it. It'll probably be really rare. Same type of deal. Anything that you want a player to consume, I'll listen to your ideas, the shapes, what you want to look at it. If you want to draw a picture for any of this stuff, you guys can do it. Become a target dummy. Is this one sold out? I better check before I actually explain it. Become a target dummy is the things you punch to test your damage. in cities and things like that. Um, Even if it is sold out, there's another tier where you can get them, but there's only a couple in the world. That's why they're limited. I don't want like I don't want 300 people to pick target dummies, and it's just like, I guess I make a room with everybody's target dummy because that would be lame. So they're just, the dummies, scarecrows and stuff. They probably have sound. Yours could have sound if you want it. Rob, I want it so every time somebody hits it, it goes ow, ow, ow. I'll tell you right now, nobody will ever use your target dummy if you do that. But like I said, if you guys have ideas, I want to hear them and I want to do them. Become a bridge. I have no idea why people would want this, but I included it. I think there's one guy who requested on the forums, so I said, all right, I'll give you that option. And I only put 5 of them in. They're just bridges around the world. And they'll have your name on them. There'll be like 2 NPCs who'll be like, go down to Peabody's Bridge. It's just your bridge. If you have a design idea, you want to build me what your bridge looks like in Minecraft or some sort of program or draw it, you can. You can be a bridge. The silver bundle tier, every tier past this now has a bundle with a physical media. So the silver bundle tier gets you a Roman the Paladin t-shirt. I don't know why we don't have this shown anywhere. But if you don't know, it's the exact same shirt Roman the Paladin has. I've shown it so many times. I have one in my closet I could go get, but I'm not gonna because I have to get up and waddle over there. Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me go get a shirt and show you guys. Hold on. I just gotta find it. I'll tell you right now, it's important when you buy these shirts to always buy them in one size below you. So here you go. Here's a Roman Paladin shirt. It's always important to buy these in a size below you so they fit your body. So they like hug, so it's like tight. Because then it looks like a Roman the Paladin armor. So that's pretty important. Well, let me close my door so my... What are you doing in here? Get out of here, cat! Cat! This is a professional business meeting with investors. There's no room for cats. You can stay, but only if you don't interrupt the investing meeting. And so that's the silver bundle tier. The silver bundle tier lets you pick 2 of the other silver tier items that are not limited. So you can't pick target dummy, you can't pick a bridge. So you can pick a consumable and a rock. You can pick 2 swords. You have 2 dual swords that can drop James's mace and James's other mace. Terrible names, James. But you have James's mace and James's other mace if you want those 2 as your bundle. 2 potions. Maybe you got an idea. You're like, Rob, I want this effect to only go off if somebody drinks both potions, because nobody will know about it but me. Okay. You got 2 potions. Apparently, if you drink them together, something silly happens. Only you know about it. Again, if you have cool ideas, I want you guys to really think about this because you have cool ideas. I want to make this a cool experience to invest in. So any 2 of these 2. Double up if you want. So now we're going to gold tier. Become an NPC. Stand around the town buying worthless items or repeating the same phrase over and over. We'll make an NPC based off your idea's name and place it in your town. This one's really straightforward. I don't know if it's very popular. I have to check the Kickstarter. I bet you it'll be pretty popular because this is like the most basic way to just get like your avatar of a character in the game. If you just want to be in the game and you got something to say, you want to have a look, whatever, you can make it happen. I was playing around with this cool idea of having it so whatever your account name, it makes it look like whatever your main character slot is. I'm still kind of trying to see if I can make that happen. It might be listed as like an optional, hey Rob, if you can do this, make this happen. So it's like constantly changing in people's games whenever they like log on and update online. So I thought that would be cool if it would actually change based on whatever your main is in your character with all the NPCs. I thought that would be sweet. But it's not something I listed to Kickstarter because it's one of those ideas. You'll see it in the notes when we send out emails for this stuff. They don't do any quests or anything. There's a quest NPC for that. They're just basics. A lot of them will be like the merchants and different trainers and stuff. And if you have ideas with that, I'll hear him out and try and make it happen and all that cool stuff. But that's just the easiest way to get your representation, especially if you like to draw or have any ideas, or you just want to take a screenshot. If you're like, Rob, here's a screenshot of my character from my favorite game, make it something like that. That's an awesome way for us to just look at it and be like, all right, let's do it. Become a body. This is like the previous one. I always thought that I think this is someone's idea. I was just like, all right, that's hilarious. This one allows you to die at some point of the game. So this is like, you're not a quest NPC. You're just like an NPC, and at some point in the game, you're gonna get screwed over and die. Like, this is the kind of thing where you walk into a dungeon, and there's a guy who's just like, "Look out, adventurers! A dragon's coming!" And then he just dies. So if you have like a funny, hilarious way to be the main star of Clue and die, maybe you just want to reenact Clue, have a bunch of people, or just you're reenacting the guy, whatever. If you just have a way you want your previous NPC character to die, I'll make it happen. Become a monster. So monsters are. Do I really have to explain what monsters? Monsters are. They're not bosses. They're not elites. So think of the categories like this. Monster is the general stuff you kill. Sometimes you kill it in droves. Sometimes they can be like the big guys, but they're not like the really big, scary elite ones that have lots of abilities and stuff, or bosses that are giant encounters. They're just monsters that get throughout the game. So it's kind of like if you're an NPC, but you want to be a furry, I guess. Or if you just have a great way to be a monster, then you pick to become a monster one. Again, like you can be pretty flexible on this. Like if you're like, Rob, I want to be a wolf that shoots spinning blades out of my mouth, I'll be like, done. All right. What damage do the blades do? I don't care, Rob. Okay, they're gonna do steel damage. Rob, I don't want to do steel damage. Okay, well, this you didn't decide because I asked you and you said you didn't care. Anything but steel. Okay, fire damage, anything but steel. Okay, well now it's gonna be rainbow damage. Become a critter. This is another limited one. They're like monsters, but they don't do anything. They're like little frogs and whatever. If you want to have some sort of avatar named after you in your design that is a little tiny critter, like a little rabbit or something, you can be one. And let me know if you want it to be really rare, if you want it to be in a very specific part of the world. Become a quest NPC. This is if you want to take the NPC one, but you also want to have a lot of dialogue lines. Like you want to have a conversation. So questing has this sort of Mass Effect. I guess I never really talked about it. It has this sort of Mass Effect dialogues with choices, but it's not like Mass Effect. It's not where, because in games like Mass Effect, the BioWare games, your choices are heroic answer, neutral, don't give a shit answer. The bad guy, oh, I'm a badass answer. Those are the three choices. Heroic, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna kick your ass. Those are the choices you get. In this game, you get 3 random choices. There's no alignment. I don't like alignment systems in video games because they're really black and white when the whole game is typically gray anyway. So I let you develop your character based on lines, and you're going to get a lot of reactions you really weren't expecting. And sometimes these choices are going to be really sarcastic, like the kind of thing you would actually say in real life when the lady's like, "Go deliver this letter to that guy standing over there." They'll have the option like, "You go do it. He's like 5 feet away." You'll have those answers, and you also have the ones that break the fourth wall. So, "Go deliver that letter right over there." Why don't I just mail it to him? Just give me the letter. I'll type in his name, the chat box, and mail it to him to the in-game mail system. You'll have those ones that just break the walls. So if you want to do a quest NPC and you want to have a story attached to your character, you go with that one. Become an elite monster. That's a monster if you want to be the big scary ones. Monsters have a lot of like the Diablo style prefixes that do them too when you go deeper into the game, where they can have the random elements to them, and they're really, really scary. And I'd say players are more likely to die to elite monsters than most bosses, because once you pretty much know a boss down, you're good. But elite monsters are always going to be the ones where you can get caught off guard and you weren't expecting to fight one here and you just die to it. or somehow you pulled 2 and you're just like, oh no. So if you're looking for something that's really, really big and you want to kill a lot of players, that's the monster you want to be. If you want to kill a lot of players and you want to go more in the depth of the different types of abilities you're going to have, that's the one you're going to want to be. Then we have the gold tier bundle. Just like the silver tier bundle, only now you also get some silver tiers in it. You get any 2 gold that's not limited, so just you can't pick become a critter, you can't pick become a body. And I want to explain why there's things that are limited. I put all this stuff, hey you, shh. Be right back, stupid. You promised to not interrupt this investor meeting. You promised. You're a liar, cat. Why must you lie? I'm sorry, gentlemen and gentle ladies. So the gold bundle tier lets you pick 2 gold tier, or limited, that's right. All this stuff is stuff that I planned in addition, right? I want you guys to understand that there's so much content in this game that even if everything sells out, it's not like, oh god, it's like none of Rob's ideas are going to be in this game. They will be. I'll take your ideas and I will work with them. And it's awesome because it's like a big brainstorming pool where you guys give me stuff and I make really cool stuff happen with it. So it's like actually really exciting to have a lot of people do these type of perks rather than just the $15 perks. Like if I had to pick between, getting to 100,000 with, oh god, I'm doing math, with 10,000 people doing the $15 perk versus just a smaller community that all is way more invested in the game, I would rather do the smaller community so there's lots of cool ideas that people really want in the game and want to engage with me and get stuff in the game, right? And so with the limited ones, everything is planned out about how many I would comfortably be able to do without going overboard. So like I don't want to have the target dummies, and I don't want to have 35 bridges, and I don't want to have on the become a boss fight. I don't want to have like 30 become a boss, and I gotta make 30 boss encounters because I want those encounters to actually be special. I don't want to just go through and just have to just half-ass a bunch of people's ideas. I want to be able to like sit down and work on it for a day or two and actually get like really good encounters and stuff going. And so the gold tier bundle, again, can't pick the limiteds from silver and gold, but you can pick any 2 gold and any 2 silver. So you get the 4. And then you also get a copy of the Unforgotten Realms Season 1 DVD and a shirt. Oh no, it's 3. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at reading. It's 1 silver, 2 gold, a copy of the DVD, and a t-shirt. Because there's 5 icons. I guess that makes more sense. God, I'm so glad I put those icons in so I can understand what this actually is. So, this is a good one if you want like an if you want to do a quest NPC, you want to make a specific elite monster for it, and you want that monster to drop a sweet epic sword. You want to make you want to have more little control over a story than just what you're going to get out of a quest. If for some reason you're like the gold tier bundle and you rather just have like 3 silver tier bundles, like you can do that as well, like if you really want to. I'm going to make this really flexible. So another thing I'll touch on before we go down to this diamond tier here, how this is going to work is after the Kickstarter is all funded, we'll probably wait till after Christmas. We're going to go through and email all of you guys, and we're going to email you a big like package that details everything you can do. And then also give you a box or just like stuff where like if you just want to be like, can you also do this, Rob? Like just like a suggestion box if you can. But we'll give you a lot like a big. It's almost like thinking about if you had to fill in like a Dungeons and Dragons sheet. You know what I mean? It's just like, here's the stuff I need you to fill out, and then just hearing all your ideas and then trying to communicate. And you'll be able to email us back. It's not like you just send it and we'll never hear from us, but we'll probably go through every person one by one to get all their ideas on paper so we can plan it all out and get it in the game. And that'll be after the Christmas, because I don't do it during Christmas and stuff, right, over the holidays. So we'll probably start doing it in the middle of January. But that's going to be how it's going to work, because I don't know if that's actually said anywhere how we do all this, the donators. All right, diamond tier. This is the point where you're like just an awesome person if you're gonna help sponsor the game this much. So I'm trying to make this cool as hell. Become a legendary item. So if you want to become a legendary item, like this is something where you can like really request crazy stuff with it. Like if you're like Rob, I want a spatula, I want spinning blades on it, and I want it to spit out spaghetti sauce. And I want to have abilities on it that makes it so the cans of spaghetti proc off it and are on the ground and heal you. I will do it. That's awesome. Remember, Unforgotten Realms is a game with all about humor and breaking the fourth walls. I would love to do crazy stuff like that. And this, like I said, this is a great way to get awesome, crazy ideas. So if you have something really sweet, like, hey, if you just want to make the standard Frostmourne but call it Stevemourne, okay. You're just like, Rob, I want it so every time you kill an NPC named Steve, like a soul gets sucked into it. And then I'm just like, there's like 3 that are probably going to be named Steve. And he's like, I know. I bought those as well. Like, all right, we'll do it. We'll make it happen. The other reason why this is going to be really cool with all this stuff is because a lot of people are going to put stuff in the game that's kind of hidden. It's like, I'm going to let you guys do stuff that people aren't going to know about until they figure it out. And that's going to make it even cooler because there's going to be just naturally so many cool ideas that you guys made that are hidden and only you know about until someone else stumbles on it or you just share. Remember, legendary items, they level up. They're badass. You can have your legendary have very specific things. Like you're like, Rob, I want it to have this type of stuff on it. Or you can make it so, Rob, I just want it to I want it to be a giant dice that it's like a stick with the D20 on it. And when I hit people, dice pop out and the stats are completely random. Like, Rob, I know typically you balance all the weapons. This one, don't. Make this one so 99.9% of the time, crap stats. 1% of the time, best weapon in the game. Like, all right, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. You got the D20 dice hammer. All right. Become a boss. Man, when I was growing up, like if this was me, like if this was me 10 years ago, and I got $300 for something I love, this is what I would have bought to become a boss, at the very least, because I've always wanted to design a boss encounter, and this you should only really get this if that's what you want to do. You should only really get this one if that's really what you want to do. Like you got all these cool ideas. I want phase 1 to be like this, and then when it gets to 35%, I want the boss to transform into a giant lizard that shoots out more lizards, and that's an ad phase. That's what you should be getting, where you go with crazy encounter ideas. Because one, I could use crazy encounter ideas. I'm gonna have to make like 50 of these things. I could use 5 really awesome crazy ideas. And so anyone who really wants to make an encounter like that, that's what I'd love to hear from them. The next one is the Become a Hero. This is the super NPC, and so I'll explain what this is. So you have the normal NPC, and he's just a guy. He probably buys stuff. Then the quest NPC, he has some sort of quest dialogue associated with him. The hero one is like being like Sir Schmoopy, or Elimus, or Roman, or Thrall, or any main character in any game. He's a character that not only will I pretty much take every quest, like I'll just, like, you have an entire storyline, you have something that's like, all right, Rob, this is something like I want to be like a 30 quest chain, like this is just the most epic quest and goes into stuff. I want to hear about it. There's going to be like, I want to hear this giant story you want to tell through your character. And then outside of that, I'm also still going to really use it. Like it's going to be something that when I'm going through the game, I'm going to use it. And, maybe you want him to just die in the end. Maybe you want it to be really sad. Maybe you want him to turn into a villain at some point. That's what he is. So if you're the kind of guy who really wants a character that you made with a giant story attached to him, go with that one. So the Diamond Tier bundle. So the Diamond Tier bundle is one where it's kind of like a mix and match of all sorts of stuff, and you get a lot of cool stuff with it as well. So you're going to get a copy of the DVD, a T-shirt. You also get a physical copy of the game, and this is going to be something where we only print like 100 of them because there's not many we need to actually give out. They're going to be very, very. It's going to be. We don't want to spend a ton of time doing big mailing packages to everyone, and this is something where. I'm going to strive to just make it a super collector's item. Like, you paid $500, all right, I'm going to give you a physical box that you're just going to, like, you're going to be really sad if you drop it in a puddle of soda pop. You're going to be like, no, because this is, I spilled my juice box on it. I want it to be the big, you can put it in a case if you want. I want to make a bitchin' ass manual. I want to put stuff in that manual that isn't going to be public knowledge for the first 10 minutes because somebody's going to leak that knowledge on the internet. You know, just like cheat codes. There's cheat codes at the start of the game. What do they do? I don't know. Big head mode. You know what I mean? Like, just fun little things in the manual. I really want to just have a lot of lore and story in the manual that, you know, that's the only place it is until people put it on the internet, but you have one of the very limited copies of it. And then I give you a ton of all the different things so you can make crazy stories and ideas with. 2 silver, even the limited stuff. 2 gold, even the limited stuff. And the Become a Legendary weapon. So the amount of stuff you can do with this is like you can make a quest NPC that has you go kill an elite monster, and that elite monster is based off a legendary weapon you can get that's on a bridge. Then it's spawned from killing a tiny little rabbit. Like, this is something where you just go pretty much crazy with what you have with the idea, right? Like, if you're like, well, there's all this, I have all this cool stuff, but I just want to put it all together. You do it with this. So this, like, I've seen like a ton of people already get this one, and I can understand because it's just so much cool stuff with all the physical bundles and all the things. So it's awesome for you guys to support that. And I don't know why we're talking about the God tiers, but we will just cause. Seems I'll just explain them real quick. What's actually funny is I think did you guys sell out of the 1,000 tier? That's nuts. I would love to add more tiers of that, but I don't think it's reasonable to do that. At this point, I don't think I could do more than 5. Okay. So if you messed that on this one, man, I'm sorry. You have to go to 10,000. No, I'll tell you why we put that one in. Okay, so the Become Everything. This is sold out. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. Maybe we'll have to put in crazy ones. I have 32 content zones planned for the game. And so a content zone is, think about Cotswell, and then Cotswell's got the innkeeper's got a dungeon. You know, it's got a forest that's got 2 dungeons in it. You know, one that's above the surface, one that's in a deep and dark cave. You can go into the castles, prisons, and that's a dungeon. There's all these different areas of the game, right? And then there's the main town and all the little areas around it that are just like the side areas, okay? That's one thing. That's one big content zone. So there's typically a content zone has 1 or 2 villages. It has anywhere from 4 to 7 like explorable dungeon zones, I guess you would call them, and all the NPCs and quests and monsters that go in them. For this one, which is already sold out, you guys are crazy. For this, it's like, why am I explaining that? I guess the 5 people, hopefully you're listening. This is, you design all of that. So it's everything from every tier, and then some. I'm planning 32 zones in my game. This one, we now have 37, because this is just addition. This is just whatever, like, I'm going to talk to these guys, and we're just going to go crazy with making stuff. Because they're going to be making multiple bosses, every NPC, everything. So, you guys are crazy awesome for putting in $1,000 into the project, especially this early in. I'm absolutely amazed. But, You guys can thank them because we'll have 37 zones on release because that's the one we're doing. And if they live anywhere in Ontario, Canada, or they're planning on visiting for some sort of vacation, probably go get lunch and maybe I'll throw in a high five. I don't know. If you want high fives, clearly gotta go for the insane 10,000 perk. But wait, let me pull this one up. Oh boy.